Welcome to Rethink, the podcast that empowers you to challenge your existing beliefs and embrace new, more productive ways of thinking. Here at Rethink, we believe that the key to self-fulfillment lies in shattering old thought patterns and adopting new mindsets that support personal growth and empowerment. With expert guests and thought leaders from a wide range of fields, we explore strategies and insights that can help you achieve success and fulfillment in all areas of your life. From relationships to career, business ownership, and health, you are the source of your own success. We're just here to help you tap into your true potential and create a brighter future. So join us on the journey of personal growth and empowerment, and let's rethink what's possible for our lives. So most people think that the hardest part of manifestation is the actual asking. But the truth is, the greatest challenge could potentially just be the receiving. So while asking is an active and a very familiar part of the process, especially in a culture where people use words like hustle and striving and things like that, it's receiving that requires something for more vulnerability. So receiving is a more vulnerable state. Because it is close to what we would consider surrender. So it demands a kind of energetic openness, a softening that feels maybe risky for many of us who were conditioned to believe that everything must come in an earned way, in a hard way, in a justified way, in a proven way. So when your nervous system is conditioned by years of scarcity, which most of ours are, may include trauma as well, emotional withholding, etc., receiving abundance can actually register as a threat. Yes, as a threat. Stay with me. Even when good things come your way, an opportunity, a compliment, a generous gesture from someone, your subconscious might respond with resistance. Self-sabotage, for example, or even some level of guilt. This is a mindset flaw. A mindset flaw. It's a psychological imprint. Your body might still be carrying the belief that ease isn't safe, or I'll owe someone later, or I'm not good enough to hold this. That's why you might find yourself constantly striving, but you never fully set into that abundance desire. Before anything can shift into your external world, your internal system must begin to feel safe with this idea, safe with the very thing that you're asking for. This is your internal system. So that's what we're talking about today on the podcast, the art of receiving. And this may seem a little out of place, may seem a little segmented, but I assure you, this is something that most of us are challenged with and need to spend some time focused on. I know for years I have been really good at giving, but not great at receiving. And receiving is one of the things that we all want. If we're talking about manifesting, that is actual receiving, creating. So let's talk about ways to unblock our subconscious, ways to ensure that our portal, our arms are open and there's nothing that's blocking us from getting the things that we say that we want. So welcome into the podcast, guys, today. It is our 24th podcast in a 30-day series. Again, I apologize. I missed the last 2 days. I ended up having to get a tooth extracted. I was telling you guys in podcast, I think 23, that I was dealing with some tooth pain, and I was having to go back and forth to the dentist, hence my time away. But that is all done now. I did end up having to, unfortunately, get my tooth extracted, which I haven't done since I was a kid, or at least a teenager. But anyway, I'm back in front of the mic, and I feel really good. So I can go ahead and knock out the rest of our 6 days here for the series. So it's a good time to tune in, and let's go ahead and knock out the rest of the series. Again, today we're talking about the art of receiving. If this is your first time with us here at Rethink Podcast, please subscribe so you don't forget who we are and where we are. Old timers, you guys know what the deal is. Thank you guys so much for checking out the show notes every week to ensure that you're supporting the podcast the way that we really need you to do that. And I really hope you are, not I hope, I know you are. I know you are. I believe that you are enjoying the podcast, this series, and I know that it is bringing a lot of value to you. Once we're done doing the actual recordings of the podcast, we follow those up with some digital products for you. And I'll make those announcements toward the end of our series. I think you're going to really enjoy some of the things that we're putting together for you. In the meantime, if you want to support the podcast, all you have to do, go into the show notes. There's a litany of ways to reach us via our website and our digital store, things like that, where you can support the podcast. All right. So let's talk. Let us talk. Let's redefine receiving. Redefine receiving as a sacred practice. It's time for us to reframe this idea of receiving. I know personally that for years, and I mentioned this a few minutes ago, my wife, my mom, I've had people tell me that, you're really good at helping other people, but you're not great at allowing people to help you. You're really good at giving and supporting other people, but you're really hard to support. In other words, I'm have this thing of supporting others. I have this thing of giving. I have this thing of being there for other people. But when people want to reciprocate, I do things like, no, it's not necessary. Or, you're good, I'm good, you don't need to do that. In other words, I don't allow the receiving when it's time for me to, be supported or to be blessed. And I think a lot of us that are in a high performing, field or high performing type of individual, that's who we are, we're sort of that way. And I do think pride and ego play a part in it. But more than that, I think that we believe that, in a subconscious way, somehow there's a block. So let's reframe this idea of receiving something from something that's passive into something that is sacred and powerful, something that is desired and wanted, not something that is going to break your ego, not something that is going to be like, okay, I must be deficient in some way because somebody has to do something for me. I think on a large scale, we feel that way. We really do. We feel like there's something wrong with me if somebody has to help me. There's something wrong with me if somebody has to do something for me. There's something wrong with me, or I'm deficient in some sort of way if I need help. And the truth of the matter is we all need assistance. So receiving is not working around or waiting around rather for someone to fix your life. That's not what we're talking about. It's not entitlement. It's not dependence. Receiving is an act of energetic alignment with your worth. This is how the universe can bring things to you. So you're in alignment with your worth. And it means that you've done the inner work, to believe that you don't need to hustle for value. You don't need to hustle for things that, just innately are yours and can come to you. But you do need to be open to receive them when they do come. So it means that you allow the universe to mirror your actual self-concept, what you believe yourself to be. And what you can do in that case is just simply receive instead of push these things away. It also means that the universe is allowed to just kind of mirror your vibration and deliver to you the things that, you hold most close to your heart, the things that you desire, the things that we say that we want. So to truly receive, you must learn to be available, to be open. This is emotionally and energetically and physically, and to the gifts that life is trying to send you. Okay. If you're constantly overscheduled or overly independent, that one hits us, right? Because if we're high performing individuals and we are, achievers, then a lot of times we're very independent and we want to do things on our own. We want to, make our own path. We're on the narrow path and that sort of thing. But it can work against us in some ways because if someone outside of our normal or even within our scopes, within our arenas, are trying to assist us, we innately push back. We automatically sometimes push back because we want to do things by ourselves. So don't be overly independent or skeptical. Don't be skeptical of something being easy to achieve. One of the entries in my journal is that I write all the time: my life is easy. My life is fun. My life is easy. It's easy for me to make money. It's easy for me to be a great business owner. It's easy for me to be a wonderful person, friend, husband, father, etc. It's easy. My life is easy. My life is fun. When things are too difficult in our lives, we're looking for ease. But when ease comes, we're skeptical of it because we think that we can't really receive something that is wonderful, something that is powerful, something that is valuable because we haven't worked really hard for it. And that idea of working really hard for it is something that was programmed into us through our society and through environment. Okay? If you are a creator and you're in the image of the creator, then the way you create is simply by speaking. It's simply by speaking. It's simply by being on the vibratory level of that particular thing and existing on the level where it is and allowing it to come to you. And that's ease, if nothing else is ease. You may be energetically available for blessings, but if you're blocking them, if you're being really skeptical of how it's coming to you, don't ask any questions. Just receive. So this doesn't make you ungrateful, and it certainly doesn't make you broken, because what we're talking about is a mindset shift. And the reason we're talking about it, and the reason it fits in the series, is because you are passionate about your work. And we are developing a way to create revenue through that passionate work that you do. So when the appreciation and the overflow comes in terms of generating revenues for, your passionate work, you've got to say yes to that. That's the whole reason you're doing it. Well, not the entire reason. Part of it is because, of course, you want to help the people in your local community and world environment. But the other part of it is, yes, you want to support yourself. You want to be able to provide for yourself, and then the overflow can go to wherever you like for it to go. And, of course, I know it will probably go back out into your community. But you've got to have the overflow in order to do that. So again, this doesn't make you ungrateful. It doesn't make you broken. It simply means that we both have an opportunity to build trust within ourselves. We have an opportunity to create a sacred space within ourselves. Receiving is that sacred space. So here's an invitation to shift from guarding against disappointment to opening up to possibility. Okay? Guarding from disappointment to open up to possibilities. Now, how do we do that? Let's practice the art of how to build your receiving capacity. How to build your receiving capacity. So the journey to becoming a powerful receiver, it begins with a somatic awareness. So you start each day with a moment of intention. It's a stillness. It is the most important part of the day. The most important part of the day is when you are first aware and you begin to set your intentions for what you want your day to be. You can place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and as you breathe deeply, anchor yourself into that presence, into that arena, into that knowingness of who you are. And then affirm out loud that it is safe and it is good for things to come to you easily. And let your breath become the bridge between your nervous system and your identity. You're breathing easy, you're breathing deep. And this is a very simple practice. You're making yourself aware. You're going to repeat this daily. You're creating a sense of embodied safety through the act of receiving. And it begins to override all these survival patterns. I can't have something if I haven't worked for it, or if I can't have something I haven't worked really hard for, or it takes a long time to get things that you want. These are the things that have been programmed into you. So throughout the day, here's what you do. Begin noticing how you respond when something good happens to you. Notice, how do you respond when something good happens to you? I don't care if it's a kind word, someone smiles at you, there's an unexpected gift, you have a moment of peace, you get a promotion, she says yes, he says yes, whatever it is. Do you quickly deflect? Do you downplay it? When you get a compliment, I've done this and I've seen people do it. You really nice. Say, oh, oh, it's nothing. Or, it's okay. Or I don't look that great. Or have you lost some weight? Or whatever the compliment is, we're quick to deflect. Receive that. Receive it. Let's build our receiving like a muscle and allow it to grow through this repetitious preparation that we're going to do every day in terms of our somatic awareness and our attention. You can also create a space to practice visual receiving. So what you can do is close your eyes and just simply imagine, because our imagination is a tool, the most important tool that we have. Imagine that light and love and prosperity just pouring all over you, like a golden rain, if you will, and it's all abundance. And you're soaking wet within this abundance. So you can see it entering through the top of your head, flowing all the way through you, and it's literally becoming your being. And notice where your body tightens or notice where your body's beginning to pull away. Breathe into those areas. Those are the areas that need to be affected. And you can remind yourself by repeating out loud or softly that you are safe. You're safe to receive. You are chosen. You are allowed to have these things. Many times we don't have because we don't believe we are allowed to have these things. Certain people can have them, but not us. Why? Well, we've never had them. Finally, I want you to begin to rewrite your personal story about your worthiness. Your worthiness. Because you are creating an empire through this entrepreneurship, through this passionate work that you're doing. And we expect that an overflow of abundance is going to come to you. Not only are you going to be completing wonderful, wonderful work in an excellent way that's going to benefit the local community and the people that are involved in the local community, but you are going to be handsomely rewarded for doing so. This is going to be the best case scenario. I want you to imagine for yourself the best case scenario. Don't let money be an object. And I've said this many times before in other podcasts, but we have gotten so programmed and we fight so much for our limitations that even in our imaginations, we can't see ourselves being filthy rich. We can't see ourselves having everything we want. We even limit ourselves in our imagination, and that is ridiculous. In your imagination, if you're only imagining, I'm going to do all this work and I'll get $100, why not 100 million? Well, Kelly, that's ridiculous. Well, we're in imagination. Nothing's ridiculous. Nothing's unacceptable. This is your imagination. And if God is God and the universe is the universe, if it can bring you $100, certainly it can bring you $1 million. So open yourself up, be free to imagine best case scenario. So each time you tell yourself, this is too good for me to be true. This is too good, to be true. Or I don't deserve this. I haven't really worked that hard for this. Or this isn't really what someone like me, gets. I want you to reframe that thought. And I want you to align with thoughts that say, I am expanding to hold more. Receiving is natural for me. Yes, of course, this is what I expect. Of course, this is good for me. And create these new stories and repeat them to yourselves. And embody this new you, the new you that says, yes, this is what I expected. As a matter of fact, there's more. I know there's more because there's more work for me to do. And when the universe knows that you are a pipe, meaning the flow of abundance is flowing not just to you, but through you and out to others, and it knows the work that you're doing, and it knows that you need more capacity to do more work, then the expansion comes. And yes, more comes. Okay? So, abundance. Let's talk really quickly about becoming a conduit, like I just mentioned, that pipe, because you could be like a bucket, right? A lot of people are buckets. They get a lot of stuff and they just hold it in. It doesn't flow out. If you put water in a bucket, the water's in the bucket. It's not on the floor. It's not on the grass. It's not on the surface around it. It's just in the bucket. And until somebody maneuvers that bucket or turns it over, the water stays in the bucket. Unless, of course, it overflows. But a pipe, which you are, it allows the water to flow through it. the blessings, the capacity, the abundance all flow through you. The universe is happening through, this is happening through you. And so the abundance comes to you and through you, and it's a continuous flow. And it goes out to the people that need it. It continues to come back to you every time. So as your practice reopens and deepens, you enter relationships that begin to shift, and you no longer chase outcomes. This is not you anymore. You don't chase the outcome, from a place of lack or scarcity. You co-create from a place of trust. You know that you're that pipe. You know that you're a conduit for abundance. So you show up, to the life, not as someone trying to prove your value. You show up to the life that you know that's yours, as someone who knows their value, as someone who already knows what's going to happen. I expect to have abundance. I expect for these bills to be paid. I expect for us to have access to these resources because I must do this for these people or this for this community or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is you're doing, expect to have the resources you need to complete those tasks. The energy is a receiving magnet. The energy of receiving, it can become magnetic. And it draws opportunities, connections, networks, peoples, clients, love, enhancements, abundance, you name it. So many other resources come to you because the universe sees what you're doing and it knows you need more capacity, so let's expand. It's not because you're demanding it, though. It's because you are becoming the kind of person that instead of holding on to stuff, you're the kind of person who can hold them without fear or contradiction. You're allowing the abundance to flow through you. So this is what it means to live as a divine receiver. Your life becomes sacred. The work that you do, it moves from passion into being sacred. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about moving through life with a soft, open heart. You are powerful. You are grounded. Your nervous system knows that, and you are a magnet for receiving. Okay? So there's a lot in the podcast today, and this is, this is something that we all need to hear. And it may be a little different pace than some of the other podcasts we did in the series, but I really want you to go back and listen to it again. And I want you to appreciate this art of receiving and changing your self-concept as it relates to who you know you are, who you believe yourself to be around receiving. Because what you're doing is big and what you want to do is bigger. You're going to need resources. And in order to get those resources, some of them need to come to you from the aspect of giving. Someone's going to give you stuff. And if you are too proud or too egotistical or too independent to receive them, you're going to limit what you can do. So, and I'm talking to myself as much as I am to you, let's be open to receiving, guys. Let's be open to receiving. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. This has been day 24, The Art of Receiving. Come check us out on tomorrow. We'll be at day 25. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. That's all for today's episode of Rethink. We hope that you've enjoyed this exploration of new ideas and perspectives and found valuable insights and strategies that you can apply to your life. Remember, you are the source of your own success and fulfillment. And by embracing new ways of thinking, you can unlock your true potential and yes, create the life that you truly desire. Now, if you've enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to support the podcast by sharing it with your friends, your family members, your loved ones, and associates, and even your followers on social media. Also, leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Lastly, don't forget to check out our show notes for free downloads and empowering ebooks that can help you on your journey of personal growth and empowerment. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We look forward to exploring more ideas and insights with you in the next episode of Rethink.